if you want to do art, nah, if you're not sponsored or if there's nobody behind you, it's it's a grind, King. Yeah, it's a grind.
How are you making the grind happen?
You're King. Like, that is something that I put at the back of my mind. I don't even think about all of those things, you know. All that I think about is like how much of work that I need to do, because like when you do stencil art, it's not just like printing figures or you understand that kind of thing. It's not just about that. There's a story behind it. Yeah. There's a history behind it. You know? Yeah.
Hey little boy, one day you have to understand how the way.
I'm Ghazali. I'm formerly from Durban and now I'm living in Gauteng.
Yo guys, I'm SnowChino from Mozambique, currently raised in Gauteng. Artist by trade and also organizer by life. What I do basically is I'm an artist and I just create whatever artists and clients ask me to do. I'm a collaborator and I'm also a creator. That's it.
And like street art, when we talk about stencil art and street art, yes, it's king. It's like somebody who is now a vandalist. Yeah, you are seen like somebody who's just scribbling all over. And yet, if you think about our ancestors, king, we used to do this on rock, king. Now today we're doing it on walls. You know? Yes, sir. So it's not like something that we've invented. It's always been there. Always been there. And I see no difference between rock art and stencil art, king. It's forever. It's forever, king. Yes, sir. Yeah. One of the things, like, you know when we were at school, we were not encouraged to study history. And a funny thing was that at my school, you had history coupled with maths and science. Yes, sir.
Come on.
You know? You had history coupled with maths and science. And only a select few could do that. Because the spaces was limited, you know? And I could never ever understand that. Why would only certain people be allowed in? That was our environment, you know what I mean? Back then, I grew up in an era where was that race division and all of that. So it was in a colored community, and I couldn't understand why was it so difficult to learn that history. And then when I did, which was like many years later, I think I was like 40 years old when I came to CICI to learn stencil art. And then I saw everybody like cutting stencils, and then they said like, oh, you need to cut somebody's face. Like, whose face are you gonna cut now? Huh? Because you just can't cut anybody's face, you know? So that's when other young men started to conscientize me. That's where I learned.
You say like preserving history and the way to teach. See, those two, for me, they actually meet after. Because like preserving history, first, preserving history. That's us like, revoking history, waking it up. Like giving it back to the ones that need it. Which is not me or my age group. I can't go around and teaching people at my age about history. These guys are not gonna listen. But then yet, we've got these young ones that are empty. They need to be filled up with history. And the moment they know their history, it's gonna make them perfect. And back to the second thing to say, like surviving from it and making sure that we're feeding the ones that are at home. Because me coming here and selling my artworks or speaking to people, it needs to have an impact at home. It doesn't just last in where I sell it. It takes me back home, because when I get back home, one thing I'll be honest with you. is that there is profits, a lot of it. I'm actually like full-on artist, doing my own thing, but I'm an artist and I have to pay bond, I have to raise a family. I got a 10-month-old baby that needs to be fed. And these guys eat and they dispose of their food. You know, nephews, they come with a cost. But then I won't say that it's difficult and I won't say that it's easy. It's discipline, you know, like knowing that you got this thing that's bigger than you at home and you got art that's feeding them. I think those two, they come together very well because, you know, like, if you know that you got a family, because God will never give you a baby to make you suffer. You know, babies come with their blessings. If you stick around and you raise your child, you're going to be blessed. That's what I'm doing, and it works out. I make money. I do feed my family. To that point, you know, like when you get yourself in a corner, you know, like, and it's you in life. You know, you need to start judging performance. You know, like you need to start looking at the guys that you're rolling with. You ask the guys, come on, guys, raise up the stakes. Come on, we are gain some profit. And it goes back to saying that, you know what, whoever produced the most gets a second chance. You know, like, and I wouldn't like sacrifice what I have at home to put it and try and rescue artists that are not performing. You know what does that go back to? It goes back to us going back to the drawing board. We need to come up with another idea. For the sake of keeping the idea alive. You know, like if we don't meet the target, we're not gonna call it quits. We have to go back to the drawing board. You know, like we have to come up with another solution. Before we start pointing fingers at artists like you're underperforming, you're lazy, or you don't show up on time. You understand? So it's all about patience. Patience is very crucial in this game. You know, like without patience, then we're just a bunch of artists looking to eat up profits. If we don't succeed the first time, we go back to the drawing board and start asking questions, and then we get a solution.
There's one thing, like my upbringing, you know, I come from a multicultural family. So already there, you know, like when you're a kid, you already, there's something that you are taught that is different from everybody else. You understand what I'm saying? So patience is key. Yeah. Humility, yo man, respecting your elders, all of that. You know, like being the first grandchild. You understand? And then like, and where we grew up, you know, we grew up in like, back in the day, like, you know what I mean? There wouldn't be just like one nuclear family there. You with me? There'll be 3, 4 of us in the yard, all of us sharing the same surname and that kind of thing. And then like me having to take responsibilities, you know what I mean? Not only for my siblings, but first for my cousins. Because there's a 10-year gap between me and my sibling, my sister. There's 10 years, and between that, before she came, I already had that training. You know, that kind of thing.
Is very fucking tough. Excuse my French, but it's very tough. It's tough in the sense that you're getting something that wants to be out there. You know, like you can collaborate with everybody, but then is the product worth showcasing? Is the product worth selling? So collaboration with us, being in the tough industrial services that we do, which is art, competition is everywhere. You know, like if you don't get it from me, you can get it from anyone else. But then going back to collaboration, it's all about like, you know, getting the right ideas in one pot and stir it up a couple of times, and then you get profits. Because whatever we do when we collaborate in this year revolution, we try and make as much. It's like buying less and selling high. Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. Collaborating with artists, everyone needs to get paid. You know, like we're already getting artists that are starving, that are not getting anything from them working by themselves. So collaborating, we try and keep it as low cost as possible, but yet trying to achieve a profit. That's not going to make us all happy and put food on the table. No, it's going to make us have enough to buy more material. You know, like more material so you can carry on from where you stop. because material is very crucial in the artist industry. So yeah. School is knowledge, you know, you need to go to school. Make sure you go to matric before you start making decisions, because once you go to matric, everybody at home is happy. You can even come to the big city, pursue your matric. What I'm gonna say is that in order for you to understand what you belong in, you need to build a foundation. And the foundation might be your job at the restaurant, be a dishwasher. You know, like start somewhere, because nothing stands without a foundation. So in order for you to be successful, you need to build your own foundation. You need to have a story, like give someone else a good story. Like, you know, hey, I started in a kitchen, I was a dishwasher. Not like boom, you're in an office now, you got your own office and corner office and all that. What I'm gonna say, and it's sweet and short, you need to pursue what your family wants. It's like in my culture, the first paycheck you get, my first paycheck I had to give it to my mother. My first paycheck I had to give it to my mother, and she paid for my transport for that month. So what I'm gonna say, it goes back to what you asked me. A boy from a small city going to the big city. Start wherever, whether it's ShopRite, Mr. Price, Pick and Pay, Sell and Pay, Small Street. Just build something so you can always look back and remember where you came from. And then you blow up.
Yes, I think when you do something like art, yeah, come in. It's something that you need to be passionate about, first of all. It's like even if you don't get paid for it, even if you don't make anything from it, but you've got to start somewhere, you know, and work hard at it. Yeah. Work hard at your craft, you know, because that's the most important thing, is how you build yourself up. You see?
I'm a sample artist. You just find me on Instagram under @SnowChino. Speak to me directly, then you get what you get.
Oh, that will be Ernest Gary Grant.
Ernest Gary Grant. Are people
Yes, sir.
able to see your art on your Facebook?
Most definitely.
Are people able to buy your art via your Facebook?
I don't have a problem with that.
Thank you very much. Sure.
Blessed. Yo. Next time, don't ambush me.